instances be where you would be the one giving instructions to whoever you had to give instructions?
Thank you, Chair, Commissioners. At the start of the investigation, remember there's a number of allegations, and so the specific, like for example the dockets, now he's got that, but with the particular docket that I am working with, if there's something I need in that, I would task him. It does not mean the chief, I must go to the chief to tell him. He's working with me, we are together, and he's assisting on it. So I can say, you know what, do a section 28 there, or get me this, that. I don't mean that every time I need him or somebody else, it has to go through the chief. The chief is just there to brief on the different investigations. This is yours, you handle this, and it goes forward from there. And then obviously the feedback will go, and the monitoring of the process will go channel back to him.
So with regard to the fetching of the dockets or retrieval, would the chief have been involved because there was more than just your docket?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. And before we leave this particular annex, Chair, just to record that it's dated the 6th of December 2024, as I indicated, with a timestamp of 1456. You see it on the first message. The main message follows at 1458. So we're around the 3 p.m. time mark.
Correct, I note the time.
My next event, now whether or not, if I may say, Mr. Rapetsu obtained the dockets, I do not know. And when he did so, I don't have a date for that. Would you by any chance know whether he did manage to locate the dockets, and if so, when?
Chair, Commissioners, I would not know a specific date when he got the dockets, but I know he did get the dockets because I saw the dockets.
When did you see them?
December.
Give a rough estimate.
I'm not too sure when.
Okay,
And
but it was in December.
I'm recalling quite deep into my memory, so I'm not too sure when, because he had those 6 or 7 dockets with him.
Okay, I'll accept that. My next timeline, we are now back into sub-internal systems, staying with MK 15293. This is, if you go to page 296, it's a document dated 11 December 2024, signed by the Divisional Commissioner, Legal Services, Lieutenant General Chamane. And if we go back to 293, which is the start of the document, on my reading of this document, which of course may be wrong, this is the legal opinion that was sought internally within the inspectorate regarding the dockets.
Yes.
Okay.
The document itself.
The document itself. Now, this is the last of the documents as I have to establish a timeline, because my next date is the 6th of January 2025, which, as we know, is the date on which Chief Perumal obtained this A1 statement from Mr. Adams.
Correct.
So that's where I end. So I take it, is it fair to assume that by the 6th of January 2025, you at least had the contents of the docket, of the dockets? You had familiarized yourself with the contents of these various dockets?
Yes.
Okay. We have dealt with Mr. Adams's A1 statement, and I think we can agree that it's rather sparse on fact. We dealt with that yesterday. It just has the 2 paragraphs, yes. Mr. Adams' statement,
Yes,
where he speaks of manipulation of
Yes.
processes, and then how the other kennels were prejudiced thereby.
correct.
You seemed to strain your ears when Ms. Sello said that affidavit, that A1 statement is sparse on the facts. You heard that part?
The paragraph 2 and the paragraph 3, that I can recall.
No, it was even before that. Ms. Sello said that A1 statement is sparse on facts. Did you hear that part?
No, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, I thought so. I saw you straining your ears.
Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I said. Do you agree with me that it's rather thin on facts, that A1 statement?
The A1 statement of Mr. Adams.
Yes.
It's an allegation.
And I want to know, I'm more interested in how much it assists with establishing facts, and I'm saying it is rather thin in that regard.
It's a fact what he said. but
We're talking
it's an allegation.
past one another. We're talking past one another. I'll try again. Let's go to it. I think it's easier. It should be your CJC 377, which is at file 3, starting at page 681.
Towards the back. There you go.
Have you located CJC 377, starting at page 681?
That's correct.
We dealt with it yesterday. It's got the cover page, 2 pages. The actual statement starts at page 683. You recall in dealing with this affidavit, it's a 2-page document. We concluded that the issues are addressed specifically in paragraph 2 and paragraph 3. That's all it tells you. The other paragraphs are either introductory or they give a conclusion by the deponent. So our key paragraphs are paragraphs 2 and 3. And that's all it tells us.
Yes.
And it is on that basis I say, if that's the totality of it, it is rather sparse on facts. It's very thin on facts, this document. Would you agree?
The paragraph 2 and 3.
Yes.
When I read it, and as I explained previously, it's an allegation, a serious allegation. And what I see here is an allegation.
Yes.
There's no fact in it.
Yes.
It still has to be investigated
Yes.
further. Thank you.
So I'm saying, yes, there are allegations, but those allegations are not based on any stated fact here. There are no facts to support the allegations expressed here.
It's an allegation at that time on the document.
Okay, does it have facts, this document? Sorry, Chair.
Let me take you through this one by one. It says that high-ranking police officials were involved in, open quote, manipulating promotions. Even though that purports to be a fact, it is a concluding fact, as it were.
Yes, sir.
You would have to state facts, concrete facts that make you come to the conclusion that this was manipulation.
Yes.
Otherwise, standing on its own, it's bare and basically says nothing. Do you understand that, and do you agree?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, that's the point that Ms. Sello is making. And then they say manipulated and security, also manipulating security vetting processes to unduly benefit a civilian. On the same kind of logic, that applies here as well. Because you would have to establish what the facts behind saying that you are manipulating security vetting processes to unduly benefit a civilian. Otherwise, you know nothing.
Yes.
So you agree, it's bare, it's thin on facts. Do you agree with that?
I agree with it as it is
That's
there.
the point. That's the point Mr. Sello
Yes.
is making.
Yes, Commissioner. The who and the what is still missing from there. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you, Chair. Then we found each other. So this was, you get this A1 statement on the 6th of January or soon thereafter, 2025.
2025.
Yes, or soon thereafter. And at that time, you are armed with the dockets. I would like to believe you said you received them sometime in December.
That's correct.
Are you able to say what conclusions you drew based on the contents of the documents? And able to say what conclusions you drew based on the contents of the documents and this affidavit to inform whether or not a case had been made out for an investigation?
When I looked at the affidavit and I looked at the docket, and as I said, the docket had sparse information on it, and I'll just must say how I looked at it and how I investigated it. So when you look at the docket, it's got sparse information, and it's not going into who by name, how. There's the who's and the hows that are missing from it. And when you look at the affidavit, as Chair mentioned, there's the who and how that's not here. So when I look at that now, I take that as a preliminary that this is an allegation that's been made. I need to now go and investigate and confirm what this is, right? This particular post or appointments or whatever, further investigation to get more information. So they therefore went about to get the documents, but I do not want to go further. I'm just saying to you that the information on the dockets itself, the initial documents, was the complainant would have to be interviewed again. What are you talking about? So from that, there's a second affidavit that is now taken on this specific regarding this appointment process. But still there are things that are missing from here that needs verification and investigation. So not on this now, you can go now and take it and just start arresting. You've got to look at it, investigate it. Is there something there? And you work from there.
Okay.
Progress from there moving forward. Thank you.
So we have the benefit of the A1 and we know what the A1 states. What I don't have is the benefit of the dockets. So regarding head to the A1 statement and what it tells you, what other extra information did the respective A1 documents in the dockets inform you?
The initial A1 on the docket, I'll just have to call it up just to refresh.
No, we can do that over lunch, but I just wanted a summary of what facts did you glean from those dockets?
The initial docket just talks about General Kumalo, if I can recall, appointing family members and friends.
Yes.
In positions at crime intelligence. So that's what it basically, so it was basically, just nothing really there. It needed more information.
Yes.
So when you look at the docket, you needed to take the docket and interview this person. What are you talking about here? Because you are saying different things. I think an incident there, an allegation here. Let's put it into context. Tell me about it.
Okay. I ask this because I'm trying to reconcile it with where the legal department of subs ended, considering the same dockets. And for that purpose, I'm still in Annexure MK15 at page 293.
290.
293.
293. This,
if we go to 296, you'll see that we have touched on it, it's dated the 11th of December 2024. So this is where the legal department lands with nothing but the content of the respective dockets. That's just my summary of what this document is about.
Yes,
You wouldn't quibble with that, would
Yeah,
you?
specifically paragraph 13 that you are referring to.
No, I want to start at paragraph 1, if you permit me.
Yeah.
Now, we can skip for our purposes paragraph 1 and 2, and then from paragraph 3.1, this document addresses the respective dockets. Lists the dockets and gives an overview of what it's about. At 3.2, 3.1, 3.2, those are the same dockets, the two dockets, the Cape Town docket and the Valeria CAS 40410/2024. And I think that is the point you made earlier, because that specific CAS number relates to the Orlando, to what we call the Orlando docket.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
You did mention then that somehow Valeria creeps into the description of the docket.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
So those two dockets, they are the same. At 3.3 overleaf, it states, the complainant states that evidence is available regarding the alleged cover-up of Valeria CAS 38/08/2022. No supporting evidence is contained in the dockets to substantiate the claim or to afford the further investigation of leads in support thereof. That's the conclusion of the legal department. You see that?
Correct.
At 3.4, it states, no details are provided regarding the identity of the friends and family members of Lieutenant General Khumalo, who was allegedly appointed in the division. In parentheses, this would at least have enabled the investigation into the allegations. 3.5, neither the particulars or statements of the senior members of the service who were allegedly instructed to ensure that Valeria CAS 38/08/22 is not investigated, nor the statement of the sex worker are filed in these dockets. Then it points out that this legal services department didn't have this specific docket. At 3.6, it deals then with the next docket. Once again, Cape Town and Valeria, which we know to be Orlando. The complainant alleges that Major General Madondo failed her polygraph examination in July 2024, whereafter the head of vetting, Brigadier Ncube, was tasked to ensure that the matter would not be addressed or investigated. 3.7, the complainant does not reveal the identity of the person who allegedly tasked Brigadier Ncube not to investigate the failed polygraph. Then the next, at 3.8, deals with the last two dockets, with the relevant Cape Town CAS number and Valeria, and states that the complainant alleges, quote, none of the people appointed in CI have the necessary skills, qualification, and experience, close quote, and that many of these appointees are said to be associates and relatives of Lieutenant General Khumalo. At 3.9, it furthermore alleges that the Secret Service account was abused by Lieutenant General Khumalo and Major General Lushaba, who failed to pay authentic sources but channeled funds to purchase items such as vehicles for the KwaZulu-Natal political task team. According to the complainant, this task team is a private service to or front for the former Minister of Police, General Bheki Cele. 3.10, the complainant does not reveal the identity of the associates and relatives of Lieutenant General Khumalo, who are allegedly appointed improperly. 3.11, no details such as dates, locations, amounts of or proof of payment are provided of the alleged irregular purchases. 3.12, at this stage, the complainant's allegations regarding General Cele are unsubstantiated and amount to no more than the complainant's personal opinion. No evidence or leads are provided to assist or afford an investigation into the allegations. Most importantly, 4, only the complainant's A1 statements are contained in the 6 dockets. No other evidence is contained in the dockets. The lack of location information makes it impossible to determine proper jurisdiction at this stage. is it fair to assume that he is correct as regards what was in the docket, what he expresses at 4? That's all there was, just the A1 statement and nothing more. Am I correct? Is that what you found as well?
What is being said here is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I have read from 3.1 to 3.12 technically is an analysis of these dockets and their shortcomings.
Just, can I respond?
Yes, yes,
So
sir.
this is what is in this report, what they say is in there.
Yes.
That, as alleged from 3.1, yes.
Yes.
That's in the report. It's more or less what is in the docket.
Yes.
And when you look at the docket, you will find that the appointments of family members is in one docket together with something else, and it's repeated in another docket, as you can see from there, which I said earlier. Continue.
No, I think we agree
we
with
agree.
each other, but I think that you confirm that you too only found the A1 statement in the respective dockets, and it says no other evidence is contained in the dockets. Is that what you found as well in the docket?
Exactly.
Just the A1 statements. We can skip the rest for purposes until overleaf at page 8, at page 296, paragraph 8.
Advocate Sello, for my benefit,
Yes.
maybe paragraph 6.
Oh, let's go back to page 295. Thank you, Commissioner Kumalo. Page 295, same document, paragraph 6. The Commissioner highlights that that's a key issue. The 3 dockets that were opened in Gauteng are merely a duplication of the 3 dockets that were opened in Cape Town. No explanation is provided regarding the opening of the second set of dockets on the same allegations but in another province. So, describing the nature of the dockets. We
Can
know
you just
that.
confirm that they were a duplication? They were basically the same thing, but in
That's correct.
Gauteng.
It's the Cape Town dockets and the dockets that were Orlando or Valeria basically were the same.
Perhaps I shouldn't run ahead. It's not, I ran ahead of myself because the contents of this particular document are important. Can I ask us to backtrack to 5, where the following point is made, paragraph 5. In his report, Colonel Phillips states that the complainant's statements were superficial, based on hearsay, and that they did not contain all the elements of the alleged offenses. It further details his communication with the complainant and the attempts that he made to obtain evidence in order to support the allegations which the complainant alleged to be in possession of. These attempts proved unsuccessful. We have dealt with 6, and 7 states the correct charges must be identified based on the content of the dockets in order to determine whether or not all the elements of a particular offense are contained in the docket. It continued at 8, the dockets are sparse on details and based solely on unsubstantiated hearsay evidence, which make it difficult to determine the merits of the allegations and to identify the correct charges. Then I will jump to 13, which is the concluding paragraph. The current information contained in the documents is scanty and too vague to formulate charges against any suspects. As a result, legal services is unable to confirm that the required elements of any offense are contained in the dockets. This is where they landed on the 11th of December. Would you agree with that conclusion on your recollection and assessment of the contents of the dockets?
On the contents of the document and what is there.
The dockets, sorry.
Apologies, Chair. Yes, in the docket, as they say,
Yes.
and the report. But on the basis of this report, if the inspectorate, for me, they didn't do their work, because they should have investigated further. They are the inspectorate. The inspectorate does inspections. There's an allegation that is made. These dockets are scanned, but in some of them, they have allegations. For example, in the one that, Chair, just let me go back to it.
Yes. We can start at 3.1. That's where an analysis of the respective
Yeah,
dockets takes
but
place.
I'll just take you to a generalized one,
Yes.
and that is the docket that was locked up in a safe or whatever, which the inspectorate had, and the Valeria CAS 404, because it was particularly linked to that docket because it makes an allegation about a cover-up of a case. If they took that docket and they looked at the docket on the Valeria CAS 38 as inspected, if they looked in it and they would have found discrepancies in it, which would eventually confirm that there was a problem in that docket because affidavits were tampered with in that docket. So let's come back to the other dockets. You have a docket, it is scanned, it hasn't got any information.
Before
but it
you
has-
go on, sorry, before you go on to other dockets, I think you should speak in much better detail than than what you've done now. What was CAS 04 and what was in the docket and what were the discrepancies that you say the inspectorate should have picked up?
Thank you, Commissioner. I'm just going to go into, I'm looking at page 292.
292, that's, is it Colonel Phillips's affidavit?
Colonel Phillips's report.
Yes.
When we look at Colonel Phillips's report, I'm just going to look. In July 2024, it's an allegation. Major General Madondo failed a polygraph examination as the officer was cited for 2 incidents of tax evasion. Brigadier Nube of the Division Crime Intelligence was tasked not
Sorry,
to...
where are you reading?
No, he's reading from page 292, same MK15, page 292. And at the top, it's Faiz Phillips stays under oath. That's the affidavit of Colonel Phillips.
Yes, I have the
Yes.
affidavit, and you are reading under CAS 403. I had stopped you because you were talking about CAS 404, and I said to you, tell us more about this CAS 404 that you say the inspectorate, had they looked at that docket, they would have seen that there were discrepancies in that docket, that there was tampering with affidavits. You said CAS 404. So I expect that when we look at 292, you will refer to CAS 404. You would read that. That's why I got lost. So can we talk about CAS 404?
I'll start with CAS 404, then go to the
Yes.
remaining.
Yeah, of
because
course.
the significance of CAS 404 was one of the dockets that we started with. But let me just go to CAS 404. When you look at the docket of CAS 404, and if you see what, is it Colonel Phillips? Lieutenant General Kumala was involved in the cover-up of the CAS 38, wherein Major General Lushaba, the Division Crime Intelligence, where an official laptop and cell phone was stolen by a sex worker. Monies from the Secret Service account was utilized to pay for a sex worker and purchase new equipment. So we have a CAS number, an allegation made about a specific CAS number, and the station and the CAS is given. So Colonel Phillips says he tried to get hold of the complainant. You are the inspectorate. The first thing he would have also done, he would have, this docket, where is it? Fetch the docket, have a look, what is in this docket, peruse the docket, and on perusing the docket, he would have found what we found. That there are discrepancies. Statements have been tampered with, etc., which resulted in, when we investigated the case, this one, we found that. What I'm basically saying to you here, Commissioner, you cannot take something and say, no, there's nothing here, when you have a lead on what to look for.
Sorry, I thought, and maybe I misunderstood, I thought you had said that in these dockets, all there was, the 404, the Cape Town and Orlando / Valeria, you were saying all there was in those dockets were the A1 statements.
Yes.
Is that your testimony? Am I recollecting it correctly?
I just want to get more clarity before. Just repeat that slowly again, Commissioner, sorry.
Did I understand or misunderstand your testimony to be that the dockets, the Cape Town dockets and the Orlando dockets, which are a duplicate of the Cape Town dockets, but Orlando dockets also called Valeria dockets, all that there was in those dockets was the A1 statements. Did I mishear you?
The
To be
Cape
saying-
Town and the Orlando dockets, or what, they had an A1 statement in it, but those statements were very vague. According to the report, they're very vague. But when I talk about the lead, there's something, that those dockets are now summarized of what's in there, in those A1 statements, what Colonel Phillip, he summarized summary of those documents of what he found in it and his comments on it. Now, what I'm trying to show and to Chair and Commissioner, that there are some things here that warranted further investigation from their part. Colonel Phillips, he's from the inspector, there's an allegation. So when we come, like you say, let's take the 404 docket, because the 404 docket and the CAS 38 of 8/2022 as mentioned, they are linked. And when you take the docket and you inquire into this docket, you would find that what is being said, and although it's scant in the 404, where it just makes a vague allegation, it's being substantiated now in the actual docket that he's referring to. So if I think I just want to get back to your point, bear with me, Chair, Commissioners.